Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm here to talk about something that's a little bit different than what I usually discuss, and that is actually antidepressants. So if that is something you're interested in hearing about, stay tuned. Okay, so from the jump, I am on sertraline 100 milligrams now, which is Zoloft, and I've been taking it for about 3 months now, and I love it. I am diagnosed with anxiety disorder, generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, and kind of a myriad of things. Mainly, like, the main things I struggle with are panic attacks and anxiety. So, and that's like the symptoms that I feel like I've gotten the most relief from being on Zoloft. This is my second time being on it. I had been off of them for 2 years, and during that time I felt like I don't know. I got stuck up. I got stuck in the mental loop of just like what a lot of people think about antidepressants and like the stigma of being medicated, and how I didn't want to be someone who like needed to rely on a pill to feel better, but I kind of got to a point where it was controlling my life again. Like, my negative thoughts were controlling my life again, and I felt just shitty just about my entire life. Like, and literally any blessing I'd be like I don't like understand why this is happening to me. I don't deserve it. Like, I've always had like this really negative internal dialogue. So I just decided to get back on them, and I've been super happy ever since. I think that there's a common misconception about or the stigma around mental illness, period, but also about antidepressants. And I feel like nobody really talks about it in the community that I'm involved in, like the spiritual community, or like anyone who like reads tarot cards, anyone who's into like metaphysics and stuff like that never really discusses how depression or mental illness can affect your communication with spirit or like spirit guides, anything in that realm. And so I just wanted to put my 2 cents in. I don't feel like my antidepressants have hindered my ability to read tarot cards or be spiritual in any aspect. I honestly feel like it has made my ability to communicate better. I am way more open with people. I am happier, which, if we look in terms of like the law of attraction, your thoughts manifest what like you get in the real world. And if you're constantly thinking in like a depressed state or like an anxious state, then you're going to keep manifesting situations that either exacerbate that or put things in your path that are negative because your thoughts are so negative. And I experienced this for the past 2 years. So, and before that, I remember being like, I've never been super, super happy, like, just, like, by myself. Like, I mean, in high school and stuff like that, I felt way more, at peace, but I honestly, like, once, like, bills, like, real adulting things hit, I had a really hard time adjusting. I did go to a small private school, which, I'm thankful for in a lot of ways, but I also think it didn't prepare me correctly for the real world. But I've always just been a very high-strung person, and I've always struggled with anxiety, like, from, like, a very young age. And I never really, like, I wasn't spiritual until, or, like, to this degree until 2 years ago, was when I had my spiritual awakening, and I feel like that's when I really, like, I mean, I'm like spacing out right now, but what am I trying to say here? Yeah, I don't know. My spiritual awakening was a really painful time in my life, but at the same time, I really feel like I needed it in order, like, to figure out what I really wanted and who I really was. And I think that my depression actually facilitated a lot of growth at that time, which is like kind of strange to say now, but I think that shadow work and stuff like that is really necessary in understanding who we are as human beings and who you are as an individual. So I think that was a really crucial time in my life, and I don't regret getting off my meds before that. So I had taken meds for about 4 months before my spiritual awakening. I ended up stopping taking them because I thought that they were making me feel numb, which is a common like side effect people will claim. Honestly, I don't think that it was really a side effect necessarily. I think that it was more just I wasn't happy in my situation, and I was just like trying to blame it on the meds, that I was just like feeling unhappy, but in reality it really was like I just was actually fundamentally unhappy. And I'm not in that situation anymore. I have changed vastly since then. But yeah, back to my main point of like the attracting like what we think and stuff like that. I think that if you can't seem to break anxiety or depression by yourself, and I meditated like even up to like 4 times a day before I was taking these, just because I felt like there had to be some way that I could naturally feel good, and I've experienced like bliss states and happiness, just like not being on meds, you know. I just quit like smoking and drinking, and nothing really worked. Like my depression was still persistent. Like in my waking life, I couldn't even really like go to work. I hated work. I just like demonized everything in my mind, which made like my reality so much worse. And like I am very thankful now that I did decide to go back on my meds, because I have grown so much, and it really lets you take a step back from your perception of things, which I feel like is really necessary sometimes, and we often don't think about that because we're just so connected and emotionally connected to the things in our life, and oftentimes like we're negatively or toxically attached to things, and sometimes you just need a different perspective. And I'm definitely not saying that like everybody needs to be on medication, but I am saying that no, if it's like actually for you and you do need it, like it is not going to hinder your ability to be a spiritual person. Like you're not less spiritual because you take a pill every day. If anything, like admitting to yourself that, and we're not spiritually broken either. Like just because you need medication doesn't make you spiritually broken. It makes you cognizant of the way that your mentality like works. And for some of us, we don't really know. I've spent years and years in therapy trying to understand why I feel depressed all the time, like why I have anxiety, and sometimes like it could literally just be a chemical imbalance. And I'm just here to say that just because you're medicated doesn't mean that you can't meditate. I still meditate. I still read tarot cards. If anything, I feel like the ability to calm down and actually compartmentalize and like kick the anxiety has made my ability to connect even better. And I'm just saying that if you feel like it could help you, it's worth giving it a shot. Like, yeah, that's about it. I'm not saying it's for everyone, but I am saying that there are benefits, definitely, and if you're considering it, just know that like you're not alone. Like there are people like me out there who probably take antidepressants and do all the same things that I do, and they just don't talk about it. But I feel like when I was trying to getting back on antidepressants, I was really worried about this. I was really concerned that it would affect my ability to like read tarot cards or like be spiritual, like the law of attraction and stuff like that. And I'm just here to tell you that, like, it can improve your life. So, yeah. I'll probably do an update on how I'm feeling in like 3 months or so, but 3 months in, I'm feeling very good. Alright. Bye!